Today I am here with an interesting comparison between two Bosendorfer pianos. I'm sitting here at a Bosendorfer 214 VC, and what's kind of cool about the VC models is the serial number says 214 VC-93, and they also do this on the 280 VC, and that means that this is the 93rd 214 VC that was ever made, which is pretty cool, and I like that little detail. And behind me, I have a Bosendorfer 214, but not the VC model. And so I thought it would be a kind of a cool comparison to look at the 280 VC and to look at the 280, not the 280 VC, the 214 VC. To look at this piano and to look at this piano and to see and listen what makes them different. And so I just thought that might be a kind of a cool video. But first, let's walk around the pianos and just take a look and see visually what is different about them. And I'm going to say at first, there isn't much. So what is kind of interesting about this is the conservatory model piano, and from what I understand, there's not much different about the conservatory model 214 and the regular 214 other than the satin black finish and the carved music desk that you can stick your arm through. Other than that, that's about it, and the normal 214 would have a gloss black and I assume a solid music desk. And also the VC has a large badge over here with a very fancy font that says VC Vienna Concert. And so this is the 214 VC model. I keep saying 280 because that was the first Vienna Concert model they had, and recently they've come out with a 214, but when I think of a VC, I think of the 280. That's their 9'2" model. If we look at the inside here, we can see the harp is kind of an orange-pink color. It's very odd. A lot of manufacturers use gold, but Bosendorfer likes this pink color. It's kind of cool. They also use purple felt, where most manufacturers use red. Steinway uses red. Most manufacturers use red. I believe Blutner likes to use blue, and C. Bechstein likes to use green. And Bosendorfer is using a maroon, purpley kind of felt. You can also see that the strings are individually hitched as well. On most pianos, the strings will loop around and one individual wire will form two strings, but Bosendorfer and other German and Austrian manufacturers use the individual hitched string method. They like it. And so as you can see, the inside of the piano is very beautiful. We have a interesting wood down here. It's kind of a dark red purple wood. It's very cool. I don't know what it is. If you know or have any ideas of what this type of wood is in the comments, let me know because it looks pretty cool. There's also a large badge down here that says Austria Bosendorfer and underneath the bass strings, and it looks pretty cool. Another thing I wanted to point out about the Bosendorfer while we're here is that the rim is very thin, and what's interesting about that is that Bosendorfer's rims are intentionally made to be more thin than a piano of the same size by another manufacturer, and that's because it's believed that the rim is actually part of the sound making, it's part of the piano that generates the sound. On most pianos, the rim simply reflects the sound, but the rim on Bosendorfer is constructed differently, and so it actually helps amplify the sound and gives the Bosendorfer a different sound. Now let's go take a look at the 214 VC very quickly because it's basically the same thing, but I just wanted to mention one quick thing about it. The first being that it's designed slightly differently up here, and there is no VC logo, as you can see. So this is just a normal 214. And similarly to the VC, if you look at the serial number down here, it says 214-825. So that would be the 825th 214 VC, not 214 VC, the 825th 214 that has been made. This is not the VC model. And you can see that the strings are a slightly different color. I'm not sure that that's because this is an older version. I believe this is one of the last 214s that was made. I don't think they're making them anymore. Or they could be a different construction and the copper might be slightly different alloy, but it's probably just older, and that's why the strings are a more copper color rather than the pink that the other ones kind of are. So now let's go back to the 214 VC and to have a listen to the sound of it because it's a very beautiful piano, and I first wanted to start off with a simple little melody that I wrote to test out the sound of a piano, to test out the treble and the tenor and the bass. So let's have a listen to that. Here, this piano has a very bright crystalline treble, and then once you move down into the tenor and the bass, it sounds really, really warm when you play it quietly, and I like the sound of this piano. Now, when you play a 280 VC and then you play a 214 VC, you can really tell that the bass end on a 214 simply isn't the same. The 280 is a concert grand, and concert grand bass, the bass end on those, it's phenomenal. But this is a 7-foot model, and the bass is still pretty nice. I really like it on this particular piano. I think when you play it quietly, it's just really warm, and now hopefully that carries through on the recording as well, but when I play it, it's just, it sounds good even down here at the very low end. Sometimes a piano, the very last few keys don't sound so great, but on this piano, I think even A0 sounds pretty good. So now let's play the same song on the regular 214 and listen to the difference. So here I am at the regular 214, I'm going to play the same little song for you. You might be able to tell a difference between these two pianos, even though it is rather subtle. Now what I'm finding, and the recorder might pick this up differently, but I'm finding that up here in the treble, when you play some notes and then let them hang and you listen to the sympathetic resonating of the other strings, I feel that there's less of that on the regular 214 than on the VC model. And whether that's good or bad, you can decide for yourself. I both like the cleaner sound of this particular 214, but I also really love that resonant sound of the 214 VC, because that resonant sound of the other strings just vibrating in harmony and whatnot with this keys you're playing is something that only a real piano can generate, and so it's kind of cool. The mid-range and the bass on this is voiced much more mellow than on the VC. I find that particularly here when I was playing the line that goes like, I had to work a little bit harder on the regular 214 to make that F kind of come out and stand out above the rest, while that was easier on the VC. So basically, the VC is voiced a little bit brighter than this particular 214, but that might not have been the way Bosendorfer did. Maybe it was voiced at some point in the past, and I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm just saying that that's what this piano is, and I do like it. So hopefully you do as well. Now I want to do a comparison of playing a short little excerpt of the Pirates of the Caribbean theme, and it's going to be loud on these pianos, and so just wanted to give you an idea of what these pianos sound like when you play them loud. So let's go back to the VC and try that. Now let's play the first couple bars of Pirates of the Caribbean on the Bosendorfer 214 VC. Much of the song, but hopefully you can get an idea of what this piano sounds like when you play it loud. I think the bass end really shines. Like I said earlier, this piano has a great bass, and it really rumbles and it really comes to life when you play it loud. And the rest of the tenor here is warm enough to be warm, but it's bright enough to where I think if you're playing with other instruments, like you were playing a classical piece with a quartet or something, I think it would still come through, and I think it would sound very, very nice. So now let's move to the 214 and play the same little excerpt. So here we are on the regular 214, and now let's play the Pirates theme. Once again, you can probably tell a difference. I know that's not a whole lot to go off of, but you can go back and play it again if you want to listen to it once again, and you can probably hear that it's a bit more muffled, it's a little quieter, and I find that this piano is a bit less powerful than the 214 VC, and I've heard rumors that the main difference between the 214 and the 214 VC is that Bosendorfer has added spruce to various parts of the 214 where there wasn't spruce before, and it was maple. I believe that that's what they did. I could be wrong on that, and it's only a rumor. But I believe that that's what is making the 214 VC more powerful. They probably changed the hammers and strings, and they fine-tuned little details of the piano, but I think it has a much different sound if you look at the very close details. Again, perhaps an average person might not be able to tell, but if you listen closely, you can hear a difference. So let me know down in the comments which piano you like more. Do you like the brighter, more powerful, resonant qualities of the 214 VC, or do you like the cleaner, less resonant qualities of the regular 214? And let me know down in the comments section section which one you like better. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I've got lots of cool videos on my channel about Bosendorfer. I've even got a video testing out the extra notes on the Bosendorfer Imperial. If you haven't seen that one already, it's a really cool video. I've got videos also of the 280 VC that I played at NAMM 2016, an absolute phenomenal piano. So you can go check out those videos if you haven't seen either of those already. And if you like my content, you might want to think about subscribing. And if you do, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.